Hello and welcome to lesson 2 of our thermodynamics unit. This lesson is called changes in heat. So we're building on the concepts from our previous lesson, and we're going to be looking at this idea of specific heat, but moving on to something called calorimetry. It's our first of two major topics in lesson 2. Calorimetry is just the measure of heat change. So as one object gives off heat, another object has to pick it up, and vice versa. And so we want to be able to measure these things, and ultimately we're going to be using the specific heat equation in a slightly different way to figure this out. We'll then move on to our second topic of lesson 2, and that is the idea of a thermochemical equation. And ultimately what we're doing at thermochemical equations is taking the same concept of balanced equations, reactants becoming products, but add yet another component into it. We want to add the component of heat. And so ultimately by the end of this lesson, what we'll be looking at is not just a balanced equation, but if you look at this example here, a balanced equation with a unit of heat involved. Now in this particular reaction, heat's on the left side of the reaction, that's where reactants are, and so we actually need heat to be able to get this reaction to happen. In other words, this is an endothermic reaction. And not just identifying if it's endothermic or exothermic, but trying to figure out how much heat actually needs to be put in, or if it's found over in the products, how much heat can we expect to come out of this balanced equation. And so that is where we'll be heading as we get into lesson 2 of our thermodynamics unit. As always, our resources are posted on Edify. You can find the answer keys to help you double check your work, and once again there's some great suggested but at this point optional resources that follow. So if you're struggling on a concept or a certain standard, make sure you come to Edify, check it out, and hopefully it'll help to clarify the process. So good luck as we look at changes in heat.